Hi, welcome to Japan by Food. I'm your host, Shizuka Anderson, and today I am at the famous Nishiki Market in Kyoto, and I'm joined by my tour guide, Kevin.
Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you for coming.
I do tours in this area. I've spent a lot of time, and it's my pleasure to share my experience with you. I can't wait to show you the great foods and sights of this part of Kyoto.
Thank you so much. So you've been living in Japan for a very long time, I take it?
About 15 years, even though I look much younger.
And this shopping street here, it's actually a very, very old marketplace that started in the year 1310, apparently, originally as a very small wholesale fish market. But after that, it has expanded and grown into a great retail shopping market. So there's gonna be tons of amazing food to discover. There are 5 blocks that we can walk in this shopping street and well over 100 shops, I believe. So I think we can find lots of amazing local foods.
Lots of great local foods, and we'll be able to discuss in detail some of the differences in flavor profiles between Eastern or Northern Japan versus the West and the more southern parts of Japan. So great stories and great tastes.
Awesome, I can't wait. Well, let's go explore Nishiki Market.
Tokyo and Osaka and most major cities in Japan, there are a lot of buildings left from that initial Western heyday.
Seems like they've definitely preserved this traditional architectural appearance, though.
When a lot of people think about inland fish,
Yeah.
or eating fish in an inland location, which is what Kyoto is, they think of ayu. Ayu is a river fish.
I know ayu. It's quite popular in Gifu Prefecture. Let's keep on exploring, shall we? Lots of old-looking shops. What is
we have
this?
Kyoto's Tsukemono on full display here.
Oh, it's a Tsukemono shop.
Tsukemono is different in all over Japan. I think most Japanese would say is that the Kyoto Tsukemono is not as pickled. It retains more of that fresher taste.
Is that right? So it's a little bit less densely salted, maybe?
It's not as salted, and depending on what it is, sometimes it's firmer still as well because it hasn't been pickled. It's just the way it's been pickled is different. One of the reasons behind this style of pickling is that it showed the affluence of Kyoto, that they didn't need to heavily pickle things because they had access to fresher vegetables or a better lifestyle that allowed them.
So this is sesame seeds bonito flakes. Let's give it a try. Samples. Itadakimasu. It's so good.
Where's the rice?
So there's seaweed and I think a fish broth. It smells really good.
Perfect for a cold stroll through the market.
They're also, I think they're toasted sesame seeds. There's a lot of flavor. I think if you want to eat furikake, which is something that you put on rice to add flavor, this fresh stuff is incredible. Okay, so this is a wasabi and sesame seed furikake. Let's try.
Just imagining the rice.
Oh,
then it
wasabi
kind of
spice.
mellows with the sesame seed.
Right?
It's kind of like it's this nice harmonious thing going after.
Immediate, like the moment you put it in your mouth, yuzu.
And again, just like that wasabi one, you get that fresh burst. But then the sesame really just, I think it's the oils and the sesame seed that make it just kind of coat and last.
That might be what it
about
is.
that.
It might be the oils, you're right. It is so good. The sesame is so toasty, like so flavorful.
This is,
What is-
Conger eel, is how it's usually translated in English.
Okay, conger eel,
It's
interesting.
much tastier than it probably looks when it's alive, since it is an eel. But traditionally it's a summer food, but now you can get it all kinds of times.
Ooh,
And for extra convenience, they have skewered it. and
excellent.
fried it.
So this is the tempura one. This would be for you. It is steaming hot, and she's put on some delicious katsu sauce. Looks very crispy.
Let's give it a go.
Here we go. Oh my god. Oh.
Good meatiness, you know? It's different than fish. It's kind of a firmness. I've been eating eel. A lot of times they, for some reason, think it's going to be slimy. I guess it looks slimy alive, but once you've cooked eel, it's kind of a meaty seafood.
It really is. But it really is meaty, very delicious, and it's fried so well. It's so crisp. The inside is so fluffy and soft. It's like a catfish almost.
Yeah, you're right. The consistency is like a catfish.
Delicious and fluffy, and really nice and hot, so you can enjoy it right out here on the street.
I've got a nice local tea shop here. You can see that lots of different varieties. I mean, they're roasted. So younger tea will tend to have a sweeter taste.
Ooh.
It tends to be more expensive as well. The elite used to only drink matcha. I mean, matcha was what tea was when it first came. The story goes way back.
Right.
And this kind of tea sort of entered to broaden the market, to make it so everyday people can enjoy tea. This is a place specializing in wagashi, which are Japanese sweets.
Yes.
But very colorful ones. Sushi for people that don't like fish.
They look like rolled candy. It looks like a shiny cucumber, little grains of rice. This one is very cute as well. It's another obento lunchbox, but this time the rice grains are made with a Japanese sugar candy called konpeito. I think these ones are the cat cookies. And they're very cute because they've got these little flower patterns. Some of these are actual kitties. And these ones are, they're not a hard candy. They're actually very soft.
They're gummies, basically.
Little traditional gummies.
Hanamagashi, so they're half raw, basically.
We've got our adorable little Japanese jelly candies, but let's save this for later. Keep walking. Try and taste some other foods. This is a lovely little shop.
Everything here is tofu related. People think about tofu in Kyoto, yuba. The yuba is it's tofu skin.
That's right.
Skim it right off the top of the soy milk as they're preparing things.
Ooh.
And it can be enjoyed fresh. This is dried already, but when it's still wet, often in Kyoto, just a touch of wasabi, maybe even maybe some soy sauce. There's firmer versions and fried versions and thin sliced fried, which it's fried twice actually. Once at a low temperature, lower, and then a second time at a higher temperature.
Yeah.
Sometimes, it's not just Japanese, to be fair. Chinese use a lot of this as well. They slice it up into thinner strips, and you can put it with vegetables. You could do stir-fry things with it, depending on what you're in the mood for. And then these smaller ones, the inari age.
Oh.
You can open it up like a pocket and stuff it with rice. A little bit sweet, not a dessert, but a little sweetness to it. It's nice.
Sweet with a little bit of Japanese rice vinegar. It's so mwah. Okay, so it's a tofu shop and they have all kinds of things related to tofu, but they also have two interesting dishes that I've never seen before. And that is something called the age-fu, the fried fu, and also the Sasamaki fu manju. And these are both absolutely new to me. So we're just picking those up and then let's go munch on them elsewhere. All right. Alrighty. I think it's time to try our age-fu and our fu manju, which is wrapped in sasa leaves.
Here's our age-fu.
Age-fu. Whoa, the texture is so weird. I don't know how to describe it. It's like a prune almost.
Crusty, spongy.
I mean, it doesn't look amazing, but I'm pretty sure it'll taste good. Let's dig in. Itadakimasu. That's
juicy.
Very juicy. Very unexpected texture. It looks kind of like layers of fried yuba, but it is fu, which is apparently made out of flour.
It dissolves pretty quickly once it's going in your mouth, but at first bite, it's got a definite sponginess going.
It's clearly been soaked and marinated in soy sauce, so it's condensed with so much flavor. This is the sasa leaf wrapped fu manju, so it's gonna have red bean paste inside. It's kind of like holding a very sticky dough, like a very wet dough.
Right.
Okay, let's give it a try.
Here you go.
Here you go. Itadakimasu. Ooh.
It's one of those like 1-2 punches on the flavors.
Oh, it really is.
First flavor is nothing like what it is a second or two later.
Also, it's got a very fragrant, herbal or leafy flavor to it. I think it's not just from the sasa leaves it's wrapped in, but also there seems to be a little bit mixed in. Yeah, I think there's actually sasa possibly mixed into the dough.
It was a great taste experience. It was, it was like an adventure in a bite. It was so
Right?
very different.
And weirdly, I even get like an aftertaste of citrus, like almost lemongrass. Oh, I love the variety of shops here.
Well, we've got lots of little fish meat items. Usually they're steamed to cook them first, and then they fry them afterwards.
Fried fish cakes are pretty common. They do have a variety here though. But I'm actually quite interested in quail egg fish cake.
Well, it's funny because the quail egg one that's inside the fish, it's called the shinobiten.
That's such a good name, shinobi. I think it's like this. All right, let's try a shinobi quail egg.
Oh, here it is, our warrior fish cake.
That's right.
Ready to go?
Ninja fish cake.
Quail egg peeking out.
It smells really good.
Deliciousness surrounding.
All right, itadakimasu. It's so good. It's very chewy.
It's not rubbery, but it's definitely got some chew.
I think I've never had quail egg with fish cake before, but I think it's a really nice combination. And it's got a lot of seems like vegetables mixed in.
I think this is typical of Kyoto cuisine. Nothing too startling,
Yeah.
but a very nice flavor that as it lingers, you appreciate even more.
It's not, it doesn't have an overpowering taste. I think that's definitely Kyoto style. Well, anyway, we'll keep munching on these, and I kind of feel like maybe it's time for a little bit of dessert. So let's bite a dessert.
It's funny, we were talking earlier about some Western influences, and Kyoto is all down with that. It's a pancake with some very Japanese style things in it, like the sweet potato and the way they do the chestnuts here. So it's a perfect example of integrating that Western and Japanese style.
You make such a good point because that had never even crossed my mind. I always just
Right.
thought of dorayaki
It
as
just
being
becomes normal.
right, a Japanese sweet. But I mean, they didn't even used to flour back in the day, or a long time ago. Flour was not a staple of a Japanese diet.
No.
These are really unique as well because this is a maki dorayaki. Normally, dorayaki is kind of like a sandwich, a pancake sandwich with red bean inside. This one, they like wrap it like a taco. Oh,
Here we are, fully equipped for our Snoopy Japanese Western sweets experience.
that's right. Here we
Oh,
go.
sorry, Snoopy.
Here we go. Itadakimasu.
Akimasu.
How's the chestnut?
Yeah.
What do you think
I've
of?
never had anything like this.
Right? Have you like? I don't think it's very often that you see a chestnut dorayaki.
I feel like cinnamon is happening somewhere.
Really?
In my imagination, but
That's kind of new. Mine has whipped cream, mochi, and ambata, which is actually red bean paste mixed with butter. So it's a very, very buttery red bean paste. It's amazing. Goes very well with the dorayaki, which is already buttery, pancakey to begin with. It's very cohesive. And the mochi gives it a little bit of delicious, stretchy chewiness. Well, that was a lovely stroll down Nishiki Market.
that was super fun and super tasty, of course.
Oh, it really was. It's such a great place to find all variety of Japanese foods, really.
Doing this with you has really made me once again realize how nuanced and really complicated these mellow flavors can be.
Oh, for sure. I mean, yeah, as you mentioned, like Kyoto is generally known for its less, it's milder flavors. They don't over salt things typically, but there's a wide variety of different tastes you can explore here, and Kyoto has a wide variety of different delicious foods.
It's great.
It's been very good. But speaking of delicious foods,
Yes.
we still have one last little dessert to try.
I have the garden.
Let's give it a
Here's
try.
our finally itadakimasu.
Finally, itadakimasu. I like that. Here you go.
Mine has stronger fruit flavors than I expected.
Same.
It's not just, I thought it was going to just be a sugar wall.
Yeah.
But no, it's not as sugary.
There definitely are hints of fruitiness. I wouldn't say that it tastes like orange. It tastes more like just very mildly flavored squishy jelly dessert. And sometimes you see jellies like this in Japan, jelly candies. Well, that was a very lovely, sweet way to end our day at Nishiki Market.
Yes.
Thank you so much for touring me today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. You were such a great co-host. If you guys are interested in coming by, having a tour yourself of Nishiki Market or even other places in Kansai, you can hit Kevin up at Japan by Food. We'll have the links down below.
It would be my sincere privilege.
It would. You can even do night tours, which sounds like a ton of fun. Well, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching our video today. Hope you enjoyed the tour of lovely Nishiki Marketplace, and hope to see you guys again in the next episode of Japan by Food. Bye, guys.
Bye.